Welcome to the Bone Zone, ladies and gentlemen, and today we're back with a multiplayer showdown between Clan Pestilence and the Harbinger of Disaster. So it's going to be Pug and Bone here with what appears to be a Grey Seer facing off against Von Karstein, who shall be using the mighty flying cow thing. God, what the hell is his name? Malagor the Dark Omen. Ever since the DLC, I've just forgotten his name every single time. I just want to call him Morker. I see his little bird face and I'm just like, it's Morker, but it's not. So, as far as the build goes here for the Skaven, I believe this took place in a sub-faction tournament, which is pretty fun. Everybody had to play a sub-faction. For Clan Pestilence here, it's going to be Skaven Slaves backed up by Stormvermin, Sword and Board, which actually can really catch Beastmen off guard. Oftentimes, Beastmen will come in with either Ungors or just Gore Herds or Chaff units in the front line. They won't really have much quality. They'll often be backed up by Chaos Spawn as well, right? So Chaos Spawn and Chaff units both have terrible armor piercing. Therefore, the Stormvermin with their 90 armor going to be exceptionally tanky. So I really like that tech piece. Double Assassin backed up by a Grey Seer Plague with the dreaded 13th spell. In the back, we got some Eshin Triads, Ogres, and that appears to be it. So, I mean, the Skaven army is really banking on the Stormvermin backed up by the Ogres to do most of the punch, and a couple Wolf Rats, which I believe were vanguarded in the corner of the map. So now for the Beastmen, coming in with the Harbingers of Disaster, it's going to be Ungors into the Sunset, Chaos Spawn, a single Raider, double Manticore. Very, very good at gooning Skaven characters. If those Manticores can isolate the Assassins or even the Grey Seer, they can butter some serious bread. And in the back, we got Malagor with only Flock of Doom. Interesting. Because, I mean, yeah, Flock of Doom is pretty good, but so too is a Cygor Summon or Pendulum would have been super good here against the Stormvermin. And it looks like the Beastmen did also Vanguard deploy some Chaos Warhounds. Ah, yes, I was wondering where the chariots were. So we got Tuskor chariots as well as a Bray Shaman of the Wilds on a Tuskor chariot as well. With okay, that explains it. I was looking at Malagor. I was like, why the hell is he not rocking all the good stuff that he has? And it's because there's a Wildcaster with Trader Cannon Devolve. So that makes complete sense now. All right, so let's get this party started. Let's have some fun. What are your predictions? Tell yourself right now and see if you're right in 10 minutes or however long this takes. So Stormvermin surging in, the bravest rats of Clan Pestilence here. Going to be doing battle with the Ungors. Should be a pretty good fight for the Stormvermin here. As you can see, immediately the Ungors are getting massacred by the martial prowess. There's also a Jabberslythe over there. Man, I am just missing all sorts of shit, but the Jabberslythe must have been hiding around the bushes or doing some sort of witchcraft back there. But Wolf Rats as well as Ogres rushing in to intercept the Frail Manticore. Pretty good usage there. The Wolf Rats should have some nice DPS. And here you can see the big, juicy Traderkin is going down. Now, Traderkin is one of the many AoE spells that is a little bit bugged right now, so it pretty much hits targets that it shouldn't on the edge of its cast zone, and there is the Jabberslythe. How are the Skaven going to be dealing with the Jabberslythe? My best prediction would be using the Assassins. The Jabberslythe has, not the most armor in the world, and the two Assassins should be able to put some hurt on it here. Nice Wolf Rat play here in the back as the Unholy Clamor does sound here in the Pillar of Bone. The Wolf Rat's going to be descending on the Ungor Raiders in the backfield, and the dreaded 13th spell is used here on top of the Chaos Spawn. This is a good area. There's double spawn here. We do also have a Manticore, so getting Halberd support over here is going to be incredibly nice. And yeah, the Jabberslythe will Mortis Engine most of the stuff down. Look at that. And Flock of Doom, there's so much AoE damage here in this Beastman army. Very, very scary stuff for sure. However, the Skaven resilient, infantry corps really doing quite well for itself. Here are some Chaos Warhounds, maybe looking to jump on the Ogres there. Might not be a terrible idea if there's a Manticore supporting, but a lot of AoE from the Beastmen build is certainly one of the tools they have to deal with all the Stormvermin. On top of that, keeping this Mortis Engine functional is going to be very good. Not going to be terribly difficult to get Stormvermin below 50% HP with all the fear and scary monsters and, I believe, even Malagor should synergize with that. If he has something wicked comes this way, he might help with that a little bit, but it looks like he doesn't. Now, the two Assassins as well as the Wolf Rats going after the Bray Shaman, which is a very, very good choice. That Bray Shaman is on the bugged chariot, the Tuskor chariot, so getting it off the battlefield as soon as possible is certainly a high priority for sure. Most tournaments that are running right now, though, do allow players to bring one, because it is kind of crappy for the Beastmen players to be hey, you can't bring your caster on any mount. It has to walk on foot. So most tournaments that are running right now with the bugs that are still in effect are putting a one limit in place. So you can't have two of them or double war gores on those chariots and things like that. So that's how they're handling it. Now the Feral Manticore is rampaging here, backed up by some Chaos Spawn. Obviously the Beastmen do not have any cold-blooded buffs to get rid of the Manticores, the Rampage. So it's going to be forcefully rampaging here. We have more Ogres swarming into the spawn. They seem to be having a pretty good time. And the Jabberslythe just kind of working on the flank here, going after Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. Very cautious of engaging in the center mass, and probably because of the Eshin Triads, and it does jump right into the Triads there, but its attack animation is so far. So 3,700 HP, the Triads, will they get any work in? It looks like they do maybe 60, 70 HP, about 100 in total in that second long engagement there. In the meantime, the two Assassins tried to catch the Bray Shaman out on the wings, but they weren't quite able to catch it, and now it's devolving into what many Skaven games do devolve into, which is a big blob fight. Those Skaven still have a shit ton of Stormvermin and elite infantry. Skaven Slaves, Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. We got more Skaven Slaves, Guando Rats here, and Stormvermin, Sword and Board. And the Jabberslythe actually very aggressively going after the Grey Seer. What do the Skaven have to stop this from happening? I suppose Ogres is probably their best bet. And it looks like the Manticore is also going in for it, but ooh, another overcasted Traderkin. That's going to be so much damage. We'll most certainly have to check the damage value on that guy. That hit pretty much everything in the Beastmen army, and Skaven are still ahead on the bounce power though, despite that. But you can never underestimate the power of a Mortis engine as this Jabberslythe really starts to hammer down. But you'll see it's a conditional Mortis engine, so it's not going like when the Skaven forces are okay in leadership and steady and fresh and all that sort of good stuff. They're not going to be even taking that, so it's not quite as good as an old school Mortis engine. However, the Skaven might be losing their Lord here. Malagor coming in, he's got a big charge bonus actually at 55, and the Grey Seer has been separated from his Rat Pack, which is definitely a Skaven player's worst nightmare as these Beastmen forces do descend on the Grey Seer. Here comes the Manticore with the Rival Hide Talisman, and the two assassins, the bodyguards, moving in. What will they go after? Probably finishing off the Manticore and or the Jabberslythe is certainly going to be in order here, but it looks like the Beastmen kind of pulling ahead on the bounce power a little bit. Tuskor Chariot still being active, as well as the Bray Shaman on the Chariot is very problematic for the elite Skaven infantry. So the Grey Seer being hunted by the Chariot Master. Its HP right now is 99, -30, and it will be going down to the Ferocity of the Jabberslythe. Although it looks like it's not going to be finished off. Is this going to be a mistake that will come back to haunt them? Most likely not. Looks like the Bray Shaman does get the memo to finish off that caster. So the Skaven have a couple Ogres left, not too many. Double Assassins, and the Assassin's really doing huge work here against the Jabberslythe boy, and Malagor looks like he's going to be getting it as well, trying to break the leadership of this force. Obviously, the Assassins here are not immune to psychology, so, being attacked in the rear and kind of flanked could be very problematic, but Malagor does get hit with an Assassin's Trophy, the double Assassins, and they're able to get a little bit of damage, but I think that Jabberslythe has to go. That thing is just doing so much work, and the Beastmen Chariots are really coming into their own in the late stages of the game. The two Chariots here running through the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, now going to be moving into Stormvermin, and honestly, it looks like the Beastmen are starting to take this one over a little bit, and it really looked like it was going to be a Skaven victory in the mid-game, I would say. And there is a Shatter on the Jabberslythe. No, it looks like it's broken, but I don't think the Skaven will be able to chase it down, although some of these Ogres might rally in a second, and they could be used to go after the Jabberslythe. We'll have to see. So the two Assassins going after the Bray Shaman. This is very important, man. If they can get that Bray Shaman, that's going to be a huge play for them, because the cycle charging on the Armored Infantry, that's what Tuskor Chariots, with or without their bugs, are designed to kill, right? Up in the sky, we have a Feral Manticore flying about, Ogres in the distance screaming their way back in, and many of the Skaven forces are in mass exodus being corralled by the metaphorical sheep herder of the Tuskor Chariots, herding all those sheep Skaven there. And the two Assassins just, awaiting the monsters here. Oh, the Chariot actually does jump into some mass. So too does the Manticore. This is an opportunity for the Skaven to get back in the game. If the Assassins can finish off this character, it looks like the Assassin Trophy is active. 491, 195. That bad boy is going to be broken, and so too will the Manticore, most likely. Yeah, and the Manticore gets shanked as well. That is huge for the Skaven, man. They just got so much value there. And, I don't know, man. Yeah, maybe these units should have kind of stayed back a little bit. The Chaos Hounds, what are they chasing at? Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers will do a little bit of fast forwarding, because right now it's at point in the game where both players are kind of chasing each other's stuff off, making sure to chase down that Bray Shaman to try and keep him off the battlefield. The Beastmen, of course, stabilize over here. And the Skaven gathering the last of their forces to hunt down that Bray Shaman, which is going to be escorted off the back of the map. So the battle between the two Beastmen factions is going to be going down here. There is the mighty Dark Omen flying in the sky. And yeah, he's going to be looking to break the Assassin. I mean, if he gets like one or two good charges and hits on the Assassin, and then, the Chariots are able to hammer them a little bit, it could be very nice. Yeah, and Stormvermin are gone, so what you see is what you got. Honestly, I would think the Beastmen are probably going to win this, but you never know. Will the Assassin's leadership hold, getting hammered down by the Chariots, and the Hounds are nibbling on the Assassins. It's slow, slow, steady damage, death by 1,000 spoon blows here. I love that video, it's so funny. And Malagor the Dark Omen once again swooping back in. It looks like the Skaven are in a little bit of trouble. Something wicked comes this way. But the Assassin stabilizes despite the wicked thing coming this way. It's because he didn't bring that ability, so he's being punished for it. And the two Assassins of Clan Pestilence holding quite valiantly. Man, they're certainly earning their keep, as now they're going to be chasing down these other units. The Skaven Stormvermin do come back, and one of them does get hammered down by that Chariot. And the two Rats are trying their best to get those, but they can't quite get it. Is he going to get it? Looks like the jumping attack did go in. The Chariots circling back and forth and certainly doing some work, but I guess the balance of power is in the favor of the Beastmen. I mean, what else do they have? It looks like this is it. I don't know. I feel like the two Assassins should be given a little bit more kind of balance of power credence than that, but it would appear not. So Assassin Trophy going down, the Chariot moving in once again, and now Malagor the Dark Omen is not where he wants to be. This is a dark place for the Dark Omen. Has this one Chariot just punting these Skaven around the map, and they finally shatter it. And now, I mean, this is 100% a Skaven victory. If Malagor wins this somehow, that is going to be some serious witchcraft. So a little bit of fast forwarding here as they chase down the Chariot, making sure it doesn't come back. We got some Chaos. Oh, okay, there's Chaos Hounds. that could change things a little bit. Malagor does get the isolation. The one assassin pushes in. The hounds are at -7. And the Dark Omen does pull back, preparing for one more cycle charge here as the hounds do kind of wither away from combat. Look at him, like he's like skimboarding there on the ground. If you guys have ever done that at the beach, it's kind of fun. And Malagor, is he going to get it? This one assassin is at -2. Will it hold? Oh my god, is Malagor actually going to win this? There's no way. The other assassin should be able to get him, especially with Assassin's Trophy, but he keeps getting knocked over. Wow, talk about Duel of Duels. If I could sing the very high-pitched part of the Duel of Fates from the Star Wars prequels, man, I would do that with Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Totally that feeling right now as the assassin and Malagor duke it out. But, you know, he is an assassin for a reason. His combat stats are very good, and the Dark Omen is not going to be able to win this one for the Beastmen as his leadership breaks. And there you have it. Victory for Clan Pestilence. What a absolute nail-biter of a match. So big thanks to Pugnabone and Von Karstein for sending in that replay. It was really fun. And yeah, the heavy armored Skaven, man. Stormvermin really did quite well for themselves. Despite facing chariots and a Jabberslythe, they all almost paid for themselves, which is a good sign for sure. The assassins were huge. And yeah, very unorthodox Skaven build, but he made it work against the dreaded Von Karstein, who's also a great player. And yeah, really fun. Chariots did well. The Bray Shaman, 2,200 value. No surprises there. Jabberslythe, about 2,000. So yeah, the things you would expect to do well, did well. All right, that's it. Well played to Pugnabone and Von Karstein. We'll be back with more replays soon. You guys take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Spend time with your loved ones. You know, pet your pets. All that good stuff. And drink some water. All right, cheers.